The bathroom door in our Burstner Harmony Line motorhome has a problem, and it's this. Sometimes when you go to close it, it won't close, or it won't stay latched closed, and we find that the solution is to lift the door slightly on its hinges. If you can see that, on this occasion I've had to lift the door by probably 3 or 4 millimeters in order to get the latch bolts to engage with the slot in the striker plate. Sometimes, of course, it will latch closed absolutely fine and reliably, and I think this is caused by those fractional changes in the geometry of the van, depending on whether we're parked at an angle, sloping downwards, sideways. I haven't really worked out the logic behind it, but I think that's ultimately the root cause of it. So I'm looking at how the latch bolt lines up with the hole in the striker plate, what pulls it across, and more importantly, what I can do about it. Well, here's a close-up of the latch bolt, and it's got a magnet in it. I can tell that because I've got a little magnet here, and if I hold it close to the latch bolt, you see it attracts it out, and if I turn my magnet over and put it close to it, it repels it away. So yeah, we've got a magnet in there. Similarly, in the strike plate, there's a magnet in there. If I put my magnet there, it's attracted to it. If I turn my magnet over, I can feel it repelling me away. So yeah, there's 2 magnets, opposite poles attract, and so that's what is attracting the latch bolt across into the slot in the striker plate. Another rather elegant aspect of this design is that if I move the door towards the closed position with the latch bolt out, as it gets close to the striker plate, the latch bolt is repelled into the body of the lock and then is attracted out again. So it's a bit of a triumph of form over function, but it is quite an elegant design. I know a conventional sprung latch would have worked quite happily, but yes, it is quite elegant. Strike plate just held in with a couple of crosshead screws, so we can whip those out. So here is the strike plate. I guess the magnet's at the back here, and if I offer this up, I'm looking at the tolerances, and in fact there's quite a lot of tolerance up and down. Not much tolerance front to back, but up and down there's a surprising amount of tolerance there, and the fact that I have to lift the door in order to get the latch bolt to engage with the slot in the strike plate implies to me that maybe the slot is a little bit high. So what I'll do is mark the position of the latch bolt and the strike plate in the door and see how they align under normal circumstances. Similarly, with the screws removed, the strike plate actually has the slot in the door here. I remove it. There's a big slot in the door jamb, and the strike plate can move up and down a lot. So I'm going to see how the two align when it's closed. Made a couple of faint pencil marks to mark the top and bottom of the latch bolt when it's engaged with the striker plate. And look at this, these are my top and bottom marks, and they are right at the bottom edge of the slot in the striker plate. So I'm thinking that if I can move the striker plate down, and I've probably got, probably about 8 mil there of tolerance, so if I can move it down by maybe 4 mil or so, the latch bolt will line up much more centrally with the slot in the strike plate. So let's have a look at that. I've marked the top and bottom position of the strike plate when it's held in position by the screws, so I can see how much tolerance I've got. And in fact there's quite a lot. The slot behind in the door is actually quite large, so I should be able to move it down by 3 or 4 millimeters without any problems. I just need to find a way of holding it in position once it's moved down. I've probably got various options. I could elongate these existing screw holes, make them more into slots so that I can adjust the position finely. I could drill new holes, but what I've decided to do, for better or worse, is to drill some small holes just beneath the existing ones and then use the existing self tappers to go through this. And this is an aluminium skin. It looks about 1.5 mil thick, something like that, so easy to drill into. So here goes. And there's a bit of wood behind it, so we'll drill a bit of a hole into that as well. There we are. And similar distance below the lower one. I'm just eyeballing these, obviously. And into the wood. I've drilled these deliberately undersized so that I can increase them. Difficult to make them smaller. The existing screws are a bit like tech screws. They've got a little bit of a drill head on them, so I'm finding they cut through the aluminium and into the wood really quite easily. So I'll put them in first before offering the strike plate back up, just to make sure they've cut themselves a nice even thread. Screw these home into their new screw holes. Tight. There we are. Just looking at the pencil marks I made earlier, here, top and bottom of the latch bolt. Those now line up much more centrally with the slot in the strike plate. So, moment of truth. Will the door shut? Well, here goes. Haha, yeah. Nice positive latch. Well, I hope that's cured our problem once and for all. I'm Richard, and I hope that's been really useful.